Namaste. This practice will be primarily a flow practice. So a lot of movement just to move the body, let the blood flow, and just start to feel vibrant and spacious as you move. So we'll start in a little meditation. So close the eyes, let the palms lay on the lap, and let the palms stay down. It's a gesture of grounding. Take a little shrug of your shoulders as you inhale. And then let them release and soften down the upper back. Take a nice breath in through the nose, inhaling, and an audible exhale. Take a moment to get grounded and get present before we move. Noticing your seat, how the hips heavy down towards the floor, the shoulders soften down the upper back. The back of the neck elongates as the crown rises up. And then slowly opening up the eyes, bringing the prayer to heart center again. Take a moment breathing in and let that go. Carry the prayer up towards the ceiling or the sky. Flip the palms, reach the palms up nice and high, inhale. And as you exhale, left palm down, right arm up and over. And then come back again, root the palm down, reach up, and other side, palm comes down, left arm up and over. Pausing and breathing. Root the palm down, rise back up, inhale. And we'll do that again, palm comes down, arm up and over. Root the palm down, rise back up, reach with the fingerprints, and as you exhale, palm down, arm up and over. Back of the neck long and relaxed, feeling that nice generous stretch through side body. Root down, rise up. And as you exhale, float the palms down, but just allow yourself to create little fists, rolling them in opposite directions. Bring the hands back to heart center, pause. Carry the prayer back up, inhale. Clasp the palms, reach the palms up nice and high. Create a little bit of an arch in the back, like a cow shape. So the pelvis tilts slightly forward, chest lifts up, gaze might draw up. And as you exhale, start to draw your palms towards me, straight arms, chin in towards the chest, hollow out the belly. As you inhale, slight cow shape, lift it through the sides of the waist. And as you exhale, starting to round. Chin in towards chest, belly hollows. One more time, inhale, nice arch. Lift through the sides of the waist, chest lifts. And as you exhale, rounding. Releasing the palms, taking a nice shrug of the shoulders forward, up and back. Good. Extend the legs out in front of you, wherever it feels good. Shake them out a little bit. Point and flex the toes, inhaling and exhaling. Noticing if you're tilting back on the pelvis, you might take a blanket underneath you, or really manually just draw the hip points forward a little bit so you're sitting nice and tall. Pointing as you inhale and exhaling. And then bringing your hands behind the backs of the knees, feet down. Start to bring your hands right behind you. I have my fingertips kind of tented here. And start in supported Navasana boat pose. So one leg lifts up, and then the opposite. You might stay here, starting to engage through the belly and the ribs, kind of knit into center. The back muscles engage. Or the hands can come behind the backs of the thighs. And of course, you can reach the arms forward. Relaxing through the chest, the back of the neck, right? Softening through the jawline, don't stress out, it's yoga. Reaching through the fingerprints, lifting through the heart space, inhale. And as you exhale, bring the feet down towards the floor. Cross opposite elbow and round the spine, chin in towards chest. Breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly, let's make our way into all fours, tabletop posture. When you're in all fours, take your time, take padding if you need it. Maybe some of you are going to join me outside. I needed to change the scenery. When the sun shines out, I want to be outside. And then once you're nice and connected in your tabletop posture, shoulders and wrists, knees and hips, let's start to cat and cow the spine. So tucking the toes as you inhale. Start to draw the hip points forward, chest forward, inhale. And as you exhale, start to round, starting the tailbone draws down, untuck the toes, belly hollows, head releases down. Inhaling, creating a nice movement with breath, creating a nice opening through the chest and shoulders, rounding in, coiling in, hollow the belly, let the head release down. A few more of these at your pace, breathing in, and exhale, rounding. You might try to sway the hips from side to side next time you come into a cow shape, a little drawing the hips from one side to the other. Next time you come into a cat shape, try drawing the chin a little bit over to one side of the shoulder and the other, releasing any tension through the sides of the neck. One more round, inhale, softening through the gaze, and exhaling. And coming back into wide knee child's pose. Allow the toes to touch, knees a little bit wide. As you forward fold here, you release the belly, the ribs, the chest, softening through the back of the neck. Take a nice breath in, inhale, and let that go. Really relaxing through the brow line, softening the tops of the shoulders. And then keep the feet as they are. Come back up, shoulders and wrists are stacked. We'll keep the left palm down. Right arm's gonna sweep open, so start to draw your gaze towards the right. Hand can stay at the shoulder or reach the arm up, opening up through the ribs, outer right hip. As you exhale, palm comes down, hips sit towards the heels, come back to child's pose. And then as you inhale, we'll flow through this, right palm down, left arm sweeps open nice and high. You might draw your gaze up. Nice little twist. As you exhale, rounding, releasing the forehead down. Inhale, coming back up, left palm roots, right arm sweeps open, really nice and graceful. Just opening through the ribs and shoulder. And exhale, coming back. Inhale, rising back up, root the right palm down, left arm sweeps open. And as you exhale, releasing back down. Forehead releases, come back up, root the left palm down, right arm sweeps open, nice and high. And as you exhale, release back. Child's pose. Pause and breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Slowly coming back up to all fours, take your time. And let's lengthen the right leg back behind us, tuck the toes. Rock a little bit forward and back. Keep the belly and ribs drawn in towards the midline, back of the neck long, and relax. Your gaze will be right down towards the floor in between your fingerprints or slightly beyond your mat. Lift the right leg up just about hips height. Really reach that heel back behind you. Keep the 5 toes down towards the floor. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. As you exhale, start to bend that right knee and hug everything into a cat shape. Hug it in, round the spine, chin in towards chest. Inhale, nice and long. And exhale, bend the knee, hug everything in. Press the floor away. Inhale, nice and long. And bend the knee, hug everything, and hollow out the belly, chin in towards chest. Reach out nice and long. Drop the toes down, take a little pulse, and then bring the shin back in. Start to sit back into a kneeling posture for a moment, taking your time, allowing yourself to roll out the wrist. So just creating a little fist and rolling out in one direction, the other. Just notice how that feels, and then shake that out. Coming back to all fours so we can do the other side. Pause, breathe. Left leg comes back long, tuck the toes, and rock gently forward and back. Nice and easy. So as you're inhaling, you're coming onto the tips of your toes. As you're exhaling, you're pressing back, feeling length from the back heel all the way through the crown of the head. Nice strong structure of the shoulders, shoulder blades hugging away from one another. And then slowly root into the right shin and foot, lift the left leg up, and feel the engagement of the muscles, the back of the left leg. Keeping that left hip closed and pausing, just kind of hanging out here, creating some endurance, some strength, holding this shape, rooting actively in all of the fingerprints and pads. As you exhale, bend the knee, take your time, heel towards sits bone, and then start to hug everything in, rounding the spine like a cat. Inhale nice and long, really pull the belly and ribs in, reach back, and as you exhale, hug everything in. Chin in towards chest, inhaling. And last time, exhale, bend the knee, hug everything. And as you lengthen out nice and long, pause, drop the left toes down, take one pulse as you inhale, and as you exhale. Coming back into Balasana, child's pose, more of a traditional one if you can, when the knees touch, thighs together, arms down by your side so the shoulders, the palms can rest. Taking that moment, breathing into back body, so feel the breath kind of fill up the backs of the ribs, the back of the lungs, inhaling and exhaling. And coming back, of course, to rest anytime you need to in child's pose. When we transition back into all fours, you'll bring your palms a little bit more forward. Firm up the fingerprints, tuck the toes, and start slowly moving into down dog Adho Mukha. So as you lift up the knees, you're just hovering them for a moment, broaden the upper back, and then nice and slow start to press the hips up and back. The chest draws towards the thighs and the legs can elongate. Of course, you can keep the knees bent if that helps you elevate the hips up more. And then start to pedal out nice and slow. So bend the right knee generously as you straighten the left. Drive that left heel down. And then repeat that on the other side where you bend the left knee generously and the right heel's really reaching down. You might do that a few more times. If you prefer to find some stillness, you'll settle in, finding engagement through the pads of the fingers, relaxing through the back of the neck, feeling the belly and the ribs pull in, and feeling all that length from tailbone through crown. Taking a nice breath in through the nose, a nice audible exhale. As many steps now coming onto the tips of the toes for you to come to the front of your mat. Nice slow walk forward. Uttanasana, forward bend. Put a little bit of space in between the feet. Feel free to bend the knees so that you can release any tension in the low back area. Relaxing the arms down. Doesn't matter if your hands aren't reaching the floor. Relaxing through the back of the neck. You might draw your head from side to side. Take one more breath in here and let that go. And then as you root more into the heels, draw the navel in towards spine and slowly come up vertebrae by vertebrae. Right, so it's a stacking of the spine till we come up nice and tall, and pausing here, finding yourself standing in Tadasana, nice and steady. Feel the crown reaching upward. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Pause, steady yourself, and then prayer rises up high towards the sky. Flip the palms, reach the palms up, and get the bend out of the elbows if you can. Pause here. Hug up the inner thighs, lengthen through the back of the neck, and as you exhale, open the arms out wide and forward bend over the legs, releasing head, neck, and shoulders. As you inhale, come up halfway, hands to shins or thighs, broaden through the upper back, find that opening through the chest, and as you exhale, release back down. As you inhale, rise up nice and tall. So half sun salutations, we reach up nice and high. And as we exhale, we forward bend all the way down. Take your time. The exhale brings you to the floor. The inhale brings you into halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Bring the shoulder blades to hug in, engage the inner thighs. And as you exhale, release back down. We inhale, we root down, we rise up. Big cupping of the air, expansion through the sides of the waist. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good. Carry the prayer back up towards the ceiling. Inhale. And as you exhale, sit back into chair pose. Bend the knees. If it's too much to have the arms elevated, bring them forward or bring them at heart center. As the hips sit back and down, the shins reach forward. Relax through the back of the neck. Get all that length from the hip creases to the tops of the shoulders, broad across the chest. We're not rounding in, we're open and expansive there. As you root into the heels and rise up nice and tall, inhale, nice big Y with the arms. And as you exhale, prayer, forward bend. Release it down. Coming up halfway when you're ready, lengthen out through the sides of the waist. And as you exhale, release it down. Planting both of the palms and bending the knees, right leg comes back, long back behind you. And pause here in your lunge pose. You can always drop the back knee down, or you can keep it lifted. Think about length from your back heel through the crown of the head. Try to get a little rounding out of the upper back, but I'm tenting my fingertips to get a little bit more lift. And then hug up the inner thighs, look slightly beyond your mat, take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to slowly straighten out that front leg any amount and bow the head. Release the head and the neck. And then as you inhale, you rebend, lift the chest a little bit, look slightly forward, reach a heel back. And as you exhale, belly pulls in, start to straighten. You're drawing your left hip crease back as the right draws forward. One more time, rebending, opening, expansive through the chest. And as you exhale, kind of surrender down, release. Forward folds are very calming for the nervous system. Let the head go. You can keep the knee a little bit more bent if you don't want it so straight. See how the back hamstring feels. Rebend through the front knee. Carefully bring the back shin down. You can always take a blanket underneath you or padding. Bring your right hand right underneath your right shoulder. Left thumb to hip crease. Look forward beyond your mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to turn the chest open, drawing your gaze towards the left. Shoulders might stack. You might decide you want to curl the back toes and lift the back knee. And your left arm can sweep up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Notice where your gaze is most comfortable. You do not need to look up. Keep reaching the heel back behind you, crown forward. And as you exhale, look down towards the floor. Palm comes down. Take your left foot out just a little bit over towards the left, heel toe it out. Bring your back toes in just a little bit and start to come up nice and slow and controlled into a high lunge. Instead of sweeping up really quickly with momentum, do it with a lot of muscular energy. And bringing your hands to your hips for a moment. Get your shoulders to stack on top of your hips. You might need to soften the back knee. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer, but nice and steady and engaged. Reach the arms up nice and high, big circle of the arms, inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and cactus the arms, draw the elbows down and in, like a lat pull, opening up the upper back. Reach the arms back up, inhale. And as you exhale, cactusing the arms. One more time, reach up, inhale. And exhale, cactusing the arms. Arms rise up nice and high and very slowly pull the belly and ribs in and kind of reach forward like you want to get a hold of something in front of you. Pause, hover, and then release the palms down. Good. Either stepping back into down dog or tabletop posture. Take your time here, breathing in and breathing out. Either holding your down dog or moving through a flow. Coming forward on your inhale, dropping the knees down. Chest comes forward, nice and slow. Forehead meets the floor, chest meets the floor. Find your cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Root into the palms, tops of the toes as you roll the shoulders forward, up and back. Shoulders away from the ears. You should be able to breathe comfortably. Relax your gaze. Exhale, curl the toes, bend the knees generously, and the hips pike up nice and high. Find your steadiness. Stay nice and focused and engaged on being present. Moving body, connecting with breath. Lift your right leg up and then pause here. Bend the right knee and then see if you can open up the hip. Right hip stacks on top of left. Your right foot is reaching in a flex position towards the left side. Keep pressing the sticky mat away from you and then start to straighten the leg, close the hip, bend the knee again, hug the knee in towards the chest. Take your time and place the foot in between the palms. If you need to take the back shin down to bring the foot forward, you can do that too. Take a nice breath and get really long and strong from the back heel through the crown. As you exhale, bring weight into the front foot and the back foot comes forward to meet the front. Forward bend, Uttanasana. As you inhale, sweep it on up, reach up nice and high. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Carry the prayer back up towards the ceiling, inhale. And exhale, sit back into chair pose, pausing. Again, you can always bring your hands back to heart center if that feels good. Relaxing through the back of the neck. Root the heels down, rise up nice and high, create a nice big Y with the arms opening up to the chest and shoulders. As you exhale, prayer, forward bend, Uttanasana. Coming up halfway, hands to shins or thighs. Take your time to lift up the torso to get all that strength through the back muscles. And as you exhale, release back down. Planting your palms, bending the knees. This time your left leg's coming back behind you for your lunge. Feel free to drop the back knee down. Set yourself up so you feel nice and steady. You're high up on that back heel. The foot's firmly planted. Gaze is slightly forward. Broad through the chest and collarbones. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, start to straighten out through that front leg. Relax through the back of the neck. Head releases real heavy. Let it go. As you inhale and rebend, come high up on the back heel, shin reaches forward, chest lifts up a little bit of a heart opener. And as you exhale, start to release and straighten the front leg. Chest heavy and soft. Keep drawing that right hip back. Rebend through the front knee. And then last time, this is modified pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Releasing the head down, pausing, getting that generous stretch through the back right leg. Rebending through the front knee. Carefully release the back shin down towards the floor. Bring your left palm right underneath your left shoulder. Right thumb to hip crease. Look forward as you inhale. As you exhale, start to turn the chest open towards the right. You might stack the shoulders, open up through the chest. You can curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and the arm is welcome to rise up towards the ceiling. See what feels good for you. Take one more breath in. Reach the heel long back behind you. As you exhale, round the top shoulder, palm comes down. So coming up to high lunge, take the right foot out just a little bit, bring the back toes in, and nice and strong and steady. So feel every muscle of the legs kind of engage to lift and rise you up. Bring your hands to your waist. If you need to bring the foot out a little bit more towards the right so you feel steady, so you don't blow over, you want to feel nice and solid here. Bring your hands to heart center. Sweep the arms up nice and high. Big circle like we do in Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Reach up. And as you exhale, cactus the arms, elbows draw down and in. Feel the shoulder blades hug in and the chest open. Reach the arms back up. And as you exhale, cactus the arms. Connecting breath with movement. Inhale. And exhale. Arms rise back up. We pause and hold. This is when we come forward nice and slow. It's almost like you could come into a warrior three if we start to come up on that back leg, but instead we hover. We use all the engagement of the core, right? The muscles around the circumference of the torso. We reach, and then slowly the palms come down. Downward facing dog, right leg comes back. Pausing here, breathing. Take rest if you need rest. If you're in the mood for flow, flow. Lowering down as you exhale. Chest comes down slowly, elbows draw towards the sides of the waist, using all that upper back strength. Find your cobra pose, roll the shoulders forward, up and back. Of course, you can do up dog or something else if that feels good in your body. Curl the toes, soften the knees, pike the hips up nice and high. We're back in down dog. Find your breath. Start to have a nice steady cadence with it, where it's a nice relaxed pace, breathing in through the nose and breathing out of the nose. Lift the left leg up when you're ready. Start to bend that knee at first and see if you can stack the left hip on top of the right. Left foot is reaching in a flex position over towards the right side of your mat. Good. Keep pressing the right heel back, keep engaging through the fingerprints, and then lengthen the leg long, close that hip, bend the knee, and slowly hug the knee in towards the chest. Placing the foot in between the palms. You can always drop the back shin down to get the foot forward. Pausing here, get nice and long from the heel through the crown, really working this shape. As you bring weight into the front foot on the exhale, the back foot comes forward to meet the front. Inhale, root down, rise up nice and high, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center in prayer. So we're gonna open up towards a wide straddle. I'll open up towards you. Good. Nice and strong, the feet are in the same plane. You're gonna pivot your left toes towards the front. So as you pivot your left, all 5 toes towards the front, bring your back toes in just a little bit and then settle in. Bring your hands to your waist and start to bend that left knee, not allowing the torso to shift forward. Can you keep it over the hips? Good. And then do that again, straighten through the front leg, hug up those inner thighs and rebend. So setting up for a warrior two, nice and slow. Bring your hands to heart center and reach your arms out in opposite directions. Take a nice little shrug of your shoulders forward, up and back. You can turn your drishti, your gaze, over towards the front palm if that feels good. Settle and breathe, root into the heels, hug up those inner thighs. And then we're gonna inhale, we're gonna straighten the left leg. Left arm comes up and back for peaceful revolved triangle pose, Trikonasana. Pause, feel the length through the side of the waist, and just simply come back to warrior two. Pausing, soften the tops of the shoulders, relax your gaze. And we'll do that again, and we'll add on. So as we inhale, we straighten the left leg, left arm reaches up and back. And as we exhale, we bend that knee, coming back to those warrior two legs, and the arm and torso reach forward, forearm on the thigh. Keep the hip closed, start to turn the chest up a little bit. And the hand can stay here, the arm can come up towards the sky or up and over. We'll see what feels good in your body. But we're gonna flow this a little bit, so come back up, nice and slow, straighten the front leg, back to reverse triangle pose, hug up the inner thighs, slowly rebend through the front knee, arm and torso reach forward, forearm, very light touch to the thigh, arm reaches up and over, chest opens. Firm up that back heel, really work that back right heel. Come back up one more time, reverse triangle pose, find that expansive quality through side body. Rebend through the front knee, reach forward, firm up that back leg. The forearm quietly comes down, shoulders not sinking into the ear. You have all that strength and stability. Hip reach, top hip stays down, arms can sweep up and over. Slowly rise back up, reverse triangle pose. And coming back into warrior two, nice and slow and controlled. Straightening through the left leg, pivot your left toes towards me. Draw your heels out. Draw your toes out, heels in, pause, cross the palms. Sweep the arms up for stargazer, 5-point star, inhale. And as you exhale, sit into a nice squat, bending the knees. Keeping a nice alignment of the shoulders stacking with the hips so you still have those natural curvatures of the spine. Feeling the belly kind of taut in, broad across the chest. Cross the palms, sweep the arms up nice and high. And as you exhale, arms come down by your sides. Parallel your feet for a moment and breathe. Good. Pivoting your left toes towards the back of the mat, right toes. Good. Bring your left toes in a smidge so the outer back heel is rooted. Hands to your waist and start to put a nice bend through that right knee. Pause, keeping the chest open and vibrant towards my voice. Come back, straighten the front leg, hug up the inner thighs. Feel tall, lengthy through the side body, rebend through the front knee. And bringing your hands to heart center in prayer, reaching the arms out in opposite directions. Looking over your front fingerprints if that feels good, settling in. Pausing and breathing, nice and steady, holding the breath. Fullness of breath, inhaling and exhaling. And as you inhale, straighten through the right leg. Right arm comes up and back for a reverse triangle pose. Reach nice and high, feel the lift of the ribs. Come back, find warrior two. And then we'll build on, so we'll straighten that front leg. Arm reaches up and back for reverse trikonasana. And as we exhale, we'll bend that knee. Reach forward, forearm lightly comes on the thigh. Keep the top hip closed. You might turn the chest. Arm is welcome to come up and over. So this is extended side angle, Utthita Parsva Konasana. As you inhale, start to straighten through that front leg. Arm comes up and back. And we come back into this flow. We rebend through the front knee. Reach forward, forearm onto the thigh, very light touch. Chest can open up, arm can sweep up and over. Firm up that back leg, bring some more weight into that back leg. Straighten through the front leg, hug up the inner thighs. Arm reaches up and back. And last time, exploring extended side angle. Reach forward, strong legs, forearm lightly comes down, hip stays closed, chest starts to revolve a little bit. Arm can come up and over. And slowly rising back up. Last time, reverse triangle pose. Arm sweeps up and back. And then coming back to warrior two briefly. Straighten through that left leg, pivot all left toes towards me. And pausing, coming back into that Kali, the squat. Heels turn in, toes out, cross the palms, and then sit into your squat pose. Reach the arms up nice and high. This time we'll cactus the arms, elbows draw down and in. You can sway from side to side if that feels good, or find a real quiet here. Good. Working the strength through the backs of the legs. Cross the palms, sweep the arms up nice and high, inhale. And as you exhale, hands come down by your sides. Okay. You'll heel toe the feet in until you bring your feet back into a Tadasana stance. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Take a nice breath in and breath out. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana, and then go ahead and take a hold of your left wrist and start to lengthen out through the left side body. And as you exhale, take a side bend. And if that's too much, just release the palm down and arm can come up and over. Good. Continue to hug up those inner thighs, pull the belly in, and then come back, soften the elbows, roll out the wrists for a moment. Take a hold of the opposite wrist, lengthen out from the right heel through the right fingerprints, really reach up. These are lateral stretches, up and over, and coming into these crescent moon shapes. So your hips are reaching in one direction, palms in the other. Continue to hug up the inner thighs, weight down in both feet, come back up, and let that go. Little shrug of the shoulders. It's fitting to do tree, so we'll do tree pose, Vrikshasana. So start to bring your weight into your right standing leg. Bring your hands to your waist and lift your left heel up a little bit. You can start to kickstand it out. Notice I've opened up my hip, my knees out towards the side. Kickstanding is like this, or you can bring the foot inside the calf. Good. Otherwise, if you want to bring the foot inside the inner thigh, I like to bring the knee right into the midline and then turn the knee out towards the side. Taking a hold of the ankle and placing the foot on the inner thigh. So see what works. Once you're here, the connection between the calf, the ankle, or the inner thigh is really important with this foot. And then you're going to draw this knee a little bit back behind you. Soften your standing leg a little bit. You don't want to lock that out, that joint. Bring your hands to heart center in prayer. If you fall out of it, you can just come back. Reach the arms out in opposite directions. Flip the palms up nice and high, reach up. And if it feels good, you'll release the left palm down towards the thigh very gently, and you'll sweep the arm up, the right arm up a little bit more, and you'll side bend. We were just doing this in Tadasana, creating that outer sideways stretch. Coming back nice and slow. Slowly let the arms come down by your sides. And carefully bring the knee back into hips height. If you'd like, you can bring your hands behind the back of the thigh and start to straighten out through this front leg for a moment. Standing nice and tall. Try not to lack out the standing knee. If you'd like to, the arms can come up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. As you exhale, release the foot down. Start to bring the arms down by your sides and the nice big sweeping motions in one direction and the other. Lifting the opposite heel up. So as you move over to one side, the opposite heel lifts, so there's a little bit of a twist. And coming back to center. Shake it out. We'll try Vrikshasana tree on the other side. It's always a different experience. So just be present as you work. All the weight shifts into the left standing leg. Don't lock the knee out. Keep the softness there and start to lift up the right heel. And you're going to pivot. You're going to open up the hip. You'll either kickstand it, right? I have the big toe kind of still rooted. Still all the weight's moving into that left standing leg. The calf, of course, you can bring it inside the inner thigh. See what your body's willing to do. As you draw the knee in, you might draw the knee out towards the side, taking a hold of the ankle and placing the sole of the foot inside the inner thigh, the calf, or the ankle. And then draw that knee slightly away from you. Notice that you still have Tadasana, right, spine in the body. Natural curvatures of the spine. We're not rounding right now. We're not twisting. We're standing nice and tall. Hands can come to heart center. Back of the neck is long and relaxed. Arms can reach out like those warrior two arms. It's a really nice place to balance, right? Flip the palms up and like you're moving through water, reach the arms up nice and high. Pause. Let that palm gently come down towards the thigh if you'd like to. Nice gentle touch. And then reaching the left arm up a little bit more and take a side bend. And if you fall out of it, who cares? Take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out, slowly coming back. So moving really slowly is going to give us a lot more stability here to learn about these shapes. The knee gently comes back in. You can keep the knee lifted. Right now, remember the foot lifted. Remember, keep the standing knee soft. Hands can come behind the back of the thigh. This is a hamstring. And you can start to slowly straighten out through the front leg. Foot is flexed, toes lifting up, chest is open. You're welcome to reach your arms up towards the ceiling. This is Hastapada A. Release the foot down, arms come down, separate the feet in a little swing. And then gently walk to the front of your mat, find yourself standing in Tadasana. Hands at heart center. Prayer reaches up towards the ceiling, separate the palms, open up the arms. As you exhale, forward bend into the legs. Coming up halfway when you're ready, broaden through the chest, and exhale, release back down. Staying down for a moment, I want to add on one more twist. So you're going to bend that right knee. You're going to keep your right hand down underneath your shoulder. Bring your left thumb to your hip crease. So the left leg's pretty straight, but you can still have a bend in it. Look slightly beyond your mat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to start to turn your chest, your gaze over towards the left. Left shoulder might stack on top of the right. And if your arm allows, you can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And if you need to, bend the left knee a little bit. But your crown's reaching forward, your hips are reaching back. You're in a forward fold twist. As you exhale, look down towards the floor. Soften both knees and just sway from side to side. Come up halfway when you're ready. Wing your arms back behind you. Spread through the fingers, lift through the chest, and as you exhale, release down. Head relaxes. Bending the left knee pretty generously. Right is as straight as you'd like. Left palm comes right underneath the left shoulder. I'm tenting my fingertips. I could use a block. Right thumb comes to the hip crease, look forward. And as you exhale, belly in, and you start to look over towards the right. You might stack the right shoulder on top of the left. Chest opens, ribs, arm is welcome to come up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, inhale. And as you exhale, round and release down, let that go. Plant the palms, bend the knees. You can step back to downward facing dog. Pausing here. Taking a flow, if that feels good, coming forward on the inhale. Dropping the knees quietly down. Go slow and controlled so you're building strength in this practice. Sustainable strength. Forehead comes down, palms by the breastbone, root into the toes, roll the shoulders forward, up and back for Cobra Bhujangasana. You're welcome to come up a little bit higher, elbows still hugging in, shoulders away from the ears. And slowly release back down, bend the knees generously, hips up and back, Adho Mukha down dog. Gently releasing the shins down onto the floor, finding a child's pose or resting in a sitting position if that feels better. Either one that feels good in your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And slowly, slowly, wherever you are, you're going to lengthen your legs out in front of you, facing my voice. Shake the legs out a little bit. And then we'll do a little forward folding. You're going to bend your left knee, your right knee. You can open up the hip towards the side. Good. And your leg's going to come out towards the side quite a bit. So the right sole of the foot's going to come inside this inner thigh. Good. And then we do a little side bend. So you're going to place the left forearm somewhere inside, right, the inner thigh. And keeping the palm on the knee, you start to open up the chest a little bit. So you don't want to round into this. This is a lateral side stretch. Good. Reach the arm up towards the ceiling if that feels good, or the sky. And as you exhale, arm comes up and over. So this is where we should feel it in the stretch. So the right side of the waist and outer hip. Try not to close off the shape. Some of you can grab your toe, or you can be like me and not grab your toe. Take one more breath in, then one more breath out. Slowly reach the arms back up. And as you exhale this time, let's start to rotate and come into a twist towards the right. Arms reach out in opposite directions, those warrior two arms. And then the palm comes down on the knee, hand behind you. And feel that rotation through the sides of the waist. Take a nice breath in, inhale, and exhale. Slowly come back to center, arms rise up nice and high. And as you exhale, a little forward bend like this. You can release the palms down. Some of you can bring your forearms down, and the head can release, softening through the back of the neck. If you want a little bit more length, you can tent the fingertops, reach your fingers forward, lengthen through the sides of the waist, and stay upright a little bit more. And then slowly walk the hands back. Shake the legs out in front of you. Opposite side. So right leg comes out towards the side. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, placing the foot on inside the thigh. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then placing the forearm inside that thigh. Or if you have your foot, that's great too. And again, remember, we're not rounding the chest. We want to keep that open, which is why I'm asking you to bring your hand to your knee, open up through the chest. Arm can come up and over for this side bend. So you really want to activate the lateral side of your waist, outer hip. Keep drawing the knee down. The low back. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Slowly rising back up, inhale. As you exhale, let's twist open towards the left, arms out, palms float down, front palm on knee, hand behind you for a nice twist. Rotating the ribs, torso towards the left. Coming back up, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold over the legs, releasing the head down. And again, you can tent the fingertops, get a little bit more length through the sides of the waist, look slightly forward, and then slightly less, let the head go. Gives you a little bit more length through the sides of the waist. And slowly walking the hands back up, taking the legs back in, coming onto your mat in this orientation, sitting up nice and tall, staff pose, Dandasana. The feet are flexed, the pelvis is not tilting back, so you really want to help yourself get on top of those sits bones a little bit. Sit nice and tall, press the palms down towards the floor if you can. And then as you exhale, let that go. Reach the arms up nice and high. Bring your hands to heart center, and if this feels okay for your spine, your back, you'll slowly come down nice and slow. So coming onto the back. If this hurts your back, then you'll just come down any way you choose. You can lift up the heels, come into a half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. Back of the neck long and relax, really working your core, and then let that go. Reaching the arms up overhead, take a full body stretch. As you exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest. Rocking gently from side to side, and bringing the feet down onto the floor, setting up for bridge pose. And if you want, you can take a block or blanket underneath you for something more restorative. Otherwise, the feet are hips width apart. You'll root into the heels. You'll take a belly breath in, And as you exhale, you'll slowly begin to lift the hips off the floor, the low back and the mid back. You can snug your shoulders blades a little bit in towards one another, or you can clasp the palms, see what feels good. Keep rooting into the heels, big toe mounds of the feet. Feel the hip points lifting up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Feel the back of the legs engaged. The chin is slightly in towards the chest. The belly and the ribs are expansive. Take a nice breath in, inhaling and exhaling. Let's hold this bridge for 2 more breaths. Feeling a little bit of heat going on from the work in the back of the legs. It's a good thing. Relaxing through the cheekbones, the eyes, the jaw. The breath is relaxed. As you exhale, slowly coming down, vertebrae by vertebrae. First, the mid back comes down, the low back, and the hips. The feet come to the width of your mat. The knees come to touch. The arms can come into a T or cactus, and you'll gently let the knees sway from one side and to the other side, nice and slow. Coming on the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left as you come over towards the right. Noticing you come onto the outer edge of the left foot, inner edge of the right as you draw to the left. Relaxing through the low back. Softening through the belly and ribs. Reach the arms up overhead, lengthen out through the legs, inhale. As you exhale, hug both knees in towards the chest. If it feels good, you can try a happy baby pose. Feet elevate up towards the ceiling or sky. Knees out wide. It's a big squat position. Hands can come behind the backs of the knees, on the calves or on the feet. However you choose, keep the hips down on the floor. Relax through the shoulders and neck. You don't want to hike up there. And feel free to rock from side to side or straighten one leg and the other, or both. And just kind of creating a little space through the back body. And relaxing a lot through the back of the head, the shoulders. Slowly bringing the feet down onto the floor. Bringing the feet together, knees wide, pausing in bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Arms rest lightly down by your sides, palms face up. And a gesture of receiving and taking in the benefits of your practice and appreciating all of your efforts. Taking a generous breath in through the nose, inhale. Audible exhale. And slowly taking the knees, hands outside the knees, drawing the knees back in. Releasing the legs out, arms down by your sides. Stay here for a few more breaths. Feeling grounded, at ease. When you're ready, slowly, slowly begin to draw the head gently from side to side. If you'd like a full body stretch, take it. Hug the knees gently in towards the chest and roll over to any side that feels good for you. Coming into fetal posture, create a little pillow with the forearms, with the palms. A symbolism of renewal, restoring body and mind. Gently pressing up to find a comfortable seat, something that feels good for you. Taking that moment to sit well with yourself, appreciating your efforts, bringing your hands to heart center in prayer, and then gently carrying the thumbs right up towards that third eye center. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be healthy. May you feel well. Namaste.